After the distribution, now the third part which is there in the pharmacokinetic, that is biotransformation. I just quickly doing the revision that in the pharmacokinetics, it means with what the body does to the drug, what happens to the drug. The first is the absorption, then there will be distribution, then there will be metabolism, which is ideally, actually the proper word is biotransformation, and the last is the excretion. Okay, and that's why it is also known as a ADME study. Okay. Now, what is biotransformation? Here, as you see, that the transformation occurs. Transformation occurs to the drug. Okay, transformation of the drug once it enters inside the body, especially in the liver. But again, I am using this term that it is not like that the biotransformation occurs only in the liver. Okay, but it is the major site. That is known as a biotransformation. And the primary purpose or the primary purpose of the biotransformation is to convert the lipid soluble compounds into the water soluble compounds. Okay. Now why this? Because you all know that we have already discussed that lipid solubility is required for the absorption. It is required for the absorption. So once the compounds become water soluble, it is not going to be reabsorbed back. And this reabsorption is not possible, and that's why it will promote the excretion or elimination of the drug. Now, what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities to the drug? What happens to the drug after the biotransformation? Here I want to clear one myth, that it is not like that after biotransformation, the drug will become inactive. Okay, drug will become inactive. Okay. After biotransformation, there is another possibility. This is one possibility, that is fine. But there is another possibility that the drug that becomes active. Now the question arises in your mind that, sir, the drug is already active. The drug is already active. Now, is this a conversion from active to the active? Now, the new point comes that certain drugs, when you are administered, these drugs are there in the inactive form. These drugs are there in the inactive form, and conversion of these inactive to active drugs, okay, that is also known as a biotransformation. That is also known as a biotransformation. Okay. And such type of the drugs are known as a prodrug. Now there is another possibility that you have administered the drug, active drug, and these drugs convert into active metabolite. This drug converts into active metabolite. Okay, so in short, there are three possibilities. One, the drug becomes inactive. Second, the inactive drugs becomes active. And third, the active drug converted into active metabolite. Okay. Now, this curiosity must be there in your mind that what is the need to give the drug in an inactive form, even though the active form of drug is available. And the classical example is dopamine. Now the dopamine is already a active agent. Okay, but we are giving the levodopa, which is a prodrug, and once it enters into the body, it will be converted into the dopamine. Here I will not go into the detail, but there are various pharmacodynamic as well as pharmacokinetic limitations, and because of that you can't give the active component of the drug. The classical example is the dopamine. Dopamine cannot cross the blood-brain barrier, and that's why even though there is a need of the dopamine in the Parkinsonism, but we can't give the dopamine as such, and that's why we are giving the levodopa. There are certain pharmacokinetic limitations also, and that's why we are giving the prodrug. Now there is one another point. I have told you that the active drug converted into active metabolite. Active metabolite. Now, what is its clinical importance? The importance is that suppose the active drug is having a duration of action of 2 hours, okay, after a single administration, and the active metabolite is having a duration of action of 4 hours. So as the metabolite is also active, then even though the drug is having duration of action of only 2 hours, the total duration of the drug will be 6 hours. Okay. Now which is the site of the biotransformation? As I have told you, the primary site in the liver. Which are the different biotransformation reactions, and what is the clinical importance of these reactions, that we will discuss in the subsequent class. But at least you know that there are 2 types of the reaction, that is phase 1 biotransformation reaction, and second is the phase 2 biotransformation reaction. In the phase 1 biotransformation reactions, the drug becomes active or inactive after the phase 1 reactions, and the reactions are oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, cyclization, and decyclization. While in case of the phase 2 reactions, majority of the times the drug becomes inactive, and the drug combines with the endogenous molecule and it will become inactive. And the most common is the different type of conjugation reactions. Okay, this we will discuss in detail in the next sessions. Okay, thank you.